Greetings, I'm Peter Alsop. So glad you stopped by. On this week's Songs to Chew, we'll listen to another song from my Draw the Line album. I recorded it in 1980 for Flying Fish Records out of Chicago. The first part of the album is studio recordings, including the one for today, which is called Atomic Waste. I'm part of the generation who went through the Cuban Missile Crisis of October 1962, which was a direct and dangerous confrontation between the United States and the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Many consider it to be the moment that the two superpowers came closest to an actual nuclear conflict. Having been through that time, I still keep alert, constantly looking over my shoulder, waiting for another confrontation or mistake. With all the nuclear armaments we had stockpiled and aimed at each other back then, all we needed was one little slip, and knowing humans as I do, one little slip is pretty much a sure thing. As that threat of nuclear war hung over us, it was accompanied by the burgeoning nuclear power industry, which simply created another huge dark cloud threatening us. And it still does today in the form of us being surrounded by human ignorance, male posturing, and good old stupidity and arrogance, where our leaders confidently assert that we will be able to manage and contain the radioactive wastes produced by nuclear energy plants for the next 200,000 years, which is the half-life of the dangerous radioactive plutonium molecules, I'm told. No worries, no one's going to be harmed. We've got this one. Ha! I felt that attitude was deserving of a song. So here's my offering. From 40 years ago, on my Draw the Line album, our song to chew, still relevant today, Atomic Waste.
It boils in vats, stored underground. It's gotta be watched all year round. And human beings can make mistakes. One little slip is all it takes. Atomic waste perseveres, sticks around 200,000 years. And we won't fuss, though we just heard we missed our bus to Harrisburg. Now we're not scared to breathe the air, 'cause we signed up for Medicare. Atomic waste perseveres, sticks around 200,000 years. Pentagon is full of nuts. They claim that they protect our butts, but bomb research has atomic waste, 10 times more than reactors make. Atomic waste perseveres, sticks around 200,000 years. Atomic waste perseveres, sticks around 200,000 years. You can't buy life when poison spread. Our money can't buy back the dead. We're born to live with Mother Earth. We should respect how much she's worth. Atomic waste perseveres, sticks around 200,000 years. waste. Perseveres, sticks around. 200,000 years, atomic waste. Perseveres, sticks around. 200,000 years, atomic waste. Persevere, sticks around. 200,000 years, atomic waste. Persevere, sticks around in dangerous form. 200,000 years, atomic waste. Persevere.
That was my old friend Fred Tackett playing electric guitars, Peter Spellman on bass, Tim Boatman drums, and the wonderful Shelby Flint with background vocals. I had a big reason to write a song that would inform the public at large about what a dangerous and uncaring, profit-driven industry our nuclear energy business was. My brother Rick worked at the Connecticut Yankee nuclear power plant in Haddam Neck, Connecticut. They operated from 1968 to 1996. He called me late one night and described how a crane operator had dropped a heavy load onto the top of the containment vessel, cracked the lid, and they went airborne, he said, spewing radioactive plutonium and strontium-90 radioactivity into the air. He said his lungs felt like he'd smoked a million cigarettes. I figured I'd lost my brother, that he would develop lung cancer within the year. Somehow he didn't. I questioned him, Rick, why in the world would you work inside a nuclear power plant? You know how dangerous they can be. They must be paying you a lot for you to take chances like that. What are you getting, $50, $60 an hour or something? I mean, it's not worth risking your health even for that. Nope, he said. There's just a bunch of other alcoholics like me getting minimum wage. And you'd love their macho attitude about the whole thing, Peter. One of the guys wears a T-shirt that says, "Who's afraid of a little nukie?" with a picture of a reactor on the front and a girl on the back. So what are they doing for you, health-wise? Nothing much. They sprayed us down and told us not to say anything about the accident. I was scared for my brother's health. My wife, Ellen Gear, and I wrote and produced a musical play in 1987 called Pie in the Sky. It was based on the Pied Piper of Hamelin story, but we put it outside of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where the 3 Mile Island nuclear generating station was operating in Londonderry Township on the Susquehanna River. Our story had the kids of the town complaining about the nuclear plant. They called it the beast that roars. The town people agreed to clean up the town, but when they broke their promise to the kids, Pie, the school custodian, played by me, took all the kids away into the local mountain, never to be seen again. Well, 3 Mile Island is widely known for having been the site of the most significant accident in the U.S. commercial nuclear energy industry. On March 28, 1979, they had a cooling system malfunction that caused a partial meltdown of the reactor core in one of the 2 towers. This loss of coolant accident resulted in the release of radioactivity that exposed nearly 2 million people to radiation contamination. We currently have problems at the Diablo Canyon plant just north of where we now live in Southern California. And, of course, there was the 1986 meltdown at Chernobyl in Russia. And, more recently, the 2011 Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant cooling system failures in Japan. I decided to make a simple structure for this song, using the first 2 verses to describe the underground vats used to store the waste for the incredible length of time of 200,000 years that the nuclear debris would be dangerous to all life because of the high levels of radiation. And to mention Harrisburg. How can plant owners be so arrogant to think that anyone alive today can claim that these huge amounts of radioactive waste could be maintained and guaranteed safe for people on our planet for that long? Egad. Then, during my research, I found out that our military nuclear bomb research was producing 10 times more waste than all the U.S. reactors were producing. The public was not being made aware of this, any of it, because most of the media did not think it newsworthy enough to mention. So that became the topic of my 3rd verse, our military nuclear waste. The song says, "We can't buy life when poison's spread. Our money can't buy back the dead." And that's true. What we need to do is to encourage each other to respect this beautiful planet we live on, instead of defiling it for future generations. We need to realize what's important to us, and it's not just about having a job. I'm Peter Alsop. Thanks so much for stopping by for a visit. Please feel free to share this podcast with anyone you think might enjoy chewing on a song or two with us. You can also find my songs and videos on youtube.com. Please subscribe if you like. If I can get 1,000 subscribers, it opens the door for me to have access to some streaming opportunities. I appreciate you spreading the word about my songs. Please take care of yourselves and your loved ones. I hope to see you again next week. Bye for now.